Hey everyone, it's Laura from Laura Jane Art. So with Ink Month coming up, I thought it'd be fun to do a review of different types of shading. So this is really good, especially if you're using ink. So today I'm going to use these random calligraphy markers that I found in my drawer. And I'll go over 4 different types of shading. So the first is hatching, which is just basically straight lines. This is not a great marker. It's been in my drawer for a while, so it's probably dried up a little bit. So the thing with hatching is the closer the lines are together, the darker it seems. So if you're doing shadows, you would use more lines close together, like on this end here, or if you were in lighter areas, you would use this side over here. I also have a ball shape, so you can kind of get an idea of what it would look like on a rounded figure. I don't use this particular method as much as I do cross hatching, so it's really, if you see me struggling, that's because I really want to cross the lines, and we're not to that yet. So that's kind of an idea of what it looks like when you do hatching. So the next one is cross hatching. This is what I generally use for my ink work that I do. So it's similar where you go one way, but then you go back and you cross the lines. And the closer the lines are together, the darker it seems. And as you can see, it doesn't have to be perfect to be effective. You can still see the light tones, mid-tones, and the darker tones over here. And then when you put it in a circle, same sort of thing. Closer the lines are together, the darker it will look, the more it will be like if you're doing a shadow. And then this next one is stippling. So stippling is where you put dots on the page, a whole bunch of dots all together. I'm kind of wishing I had a bigger marker at the moment. So the more spaced out they are, the lighter it is. Then the closer you get them together, the darker it starts to get. And of course you can do more than just rectangles and circles. I'm just doing this to kind of give you a very basic idea of how to do it. But same as the other ones, the closer you get together, the darker it looks, and the more spaced out, the lighter it looks. So you can get to the point where it's really, really dark on any of these, depending on how close you did them together. So actually, what I've done so far is probably more like a mid-tone of each, where if you have them together almost touching, they would be almost a solid color. So the same thing with the circle is, in order to make it rounded, you would, where you want it shaded, you would put more dots, and where you want it light, you would leave less dots. And the people that do stippling for their shading, their work takes quite a while to do, to get all the dots and stuff where they need to be. So I'm always always very impressed with when I see someone has done stippling for their shading, because I know that it's very time consuming and a lot of tapping the page. So that's kind of a basic look. You can kind of see where the circle is starting to get through dimension. Let's see, what color do we want to do now? So the fourth type is freeform or scribbles. So this way you can do any shape. It doesn't have to be like uniform or anything like that. So if you want to do just like scribbles like that, you can. Some people do like they'll repeat a letter or a number or a specific image. I've seen where people shade using, like they'll use someone's name and they'll shade a whole piece just using someone's name that's overlapped. So that's really cool when people do that, but it's kind of an idea of if you just kind of like scribbling it in, where you have your lights, your midtones, and then your darks. And the same, you can do the same with the circle too. Just wherever it's wherever overlaps more, the lines are closer together, is where it's going to be darker. So in this case, I'm shading on the edges. So yeah, that is just kind of a basic idea of different types of shading. So if you're going into ink month, or you're just practicing drawing in general, that will kind of get you started as far as different techniques that you can use. And I will go ahead and show you a couple examples of my work, and then you can kind of see what it looks like in an actual picture. So here is an example of a piece that I've done. I generally use a combination of cross hatching and kind of like free-form scribbles. You can see like this area is more cross hatching, and then when it's more organic shapes, I do more of like a free-form kind of scribble. So that is an example. Here's another one. So same kind of thing where I'm using a combination of cross hatching and some free form. And like in here, you can see the lines are closer together, so it's darker, where out here they're farther apart, so it doesn't show as a shadow. So that is what I wanted to show you today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you go ahead and like it, and if you'd like to see more, subscribe to my channel. Sometimes I do how-to videos or demos. I also do some time-lapse of my own work, or I've started doing updates to show you what I've been working on. So those are the kind of videos that you'll find there. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I do have this template is up on my website, so I'll go ahead and link the blog that it is in below, and you can go ahead and grab that if you want something specific to do your practicing on, or just pull out a piece of paper and you can do it that way too.